If you think you understand the Knoxville, Tennessee real estate market because you've been tracking Zillow trends or checking out median home prices in Farragut or out west, you need to pause what you're doing right now. Because right now, the literal dirt of this city is being shifted by two massive multi-million dollar mega projects that are quietly redrawing the entire economic map of the area. If you're looking to buy a house, invest in a rental, or relocate your family to the Knox or Sevier County area over the next 12 to 24 months, listening to old data is going to cost you thousands of dollars in missed equity. On the flip side, if you know exactly which street corners and zip codes to target before the final public concrete is poured, you are positioned to catch a massive wave of forced appreciation. I'm Mike Durham, broker and owner of Keyo Homes Realty right here in Knoxville. I track the local data, the infrastructure shifts, and the street level real estate plays that national market updates completely miss. Today, we're driving straight to the front lines of the bulldozers to break down these specific zip codes, the direct neighborhood corridors, and the exact streets about to experience the largest real estate ripple effect in Knoxville history. Let's start with project number one. If you spent any time downtown recently, you've seen the massive footprint of Covenant Health Park, and you probably caught a game there as well. This is a multi use stadium bringing professional minor league baseball and soccer back to the heart of the city, specifically the Old City. Now, casual observers are focused purely on sports. They're talking about the Knoxville Smokies or the Knoxville SC games. But as a real estate professional, I don't just look at sports teams. I look at infrastructure capital. This is a $127 million urban revitalization project. Over $26 million went strictly into raw, below ground infrastructure, ripping out century old utility lines, installing massive storm management networks, and planting tree lined wide sidewalks and four giant public entry plazas. Combined, those plazas are considerably larger than Market Square itself. The city actually recently passed a massive milestone in regards to this. They officially opened the main stadium concourse on weekdays for public pedestrian traffic. So this isn't just a lockdown facility that sits empty 300 days a year. It's an active daily pedestrian extension of our downtown footprint. For decades, downtown Knoxville has had a hard eastern border. The James White Parkway acted like a giant concrete wall. If you walked east past the old city warehouses, the sidewalk just stopped. It felt industrial, isolated, and cut off. Covenant Health Park completely shatters that wall. It forces the high end pedestrian energy of Gay Street and the Old City to spill directly eastward. What does this mean for property values? Just think about what happened to the Gulch in Nashville or the areas surrounding Tourist Park in Atlanta. When you anchor a massive public private commercial destination in a historic industrial zone, high end downtown condos within a 5-minute walk transition from a standard lifestyle choice into premium high scarcity assets. And if you want to buy a downtown condo, the value just isn't on Gay Street anymore. You need to look at the warehouse redevelopments wrapping around Willow Avenue and Central Street, where the city just finished an extensive streetscape overhaul. But here's the real insider play that trips up almost everyone who doesn't live here. The smart money isn't paying top of market premium pricing inside the immediate stadium plazas. The true equity play is right across the invisible border of the line into zip code 37915 and the western edge of East Knoxville. If you look at the historic bungalows, the transitioning single family pockets, and the empty infill lots sitting just 3 to 6 blocks east of the stadium gates, you're looking at the exact zone where early bird buyers are quietly stamping up real estate. Why? Because as those massive stadium plazas fill out with year round retail, neighborhood cocktail lounges, and boutique hotels, the demand for walkable single family residential living is going to skyrocket. If you can find a property with solid bones in 37915 before the commercial retail spaces are fully leased out, you're going to be buying into the direct path of forced appreciation. Now, let's cross the Tennessee River because what's unfolding on the South Waterfront is arguably a much bigger deal for traditional residential home buyers and long term investors. For years, South Knoxville had a specific reputation. Locals called it the quiet side or the scruffy side or the crunchy side. It was heavily industrial along the water and then quickly turned into a massive recreational haven with our 1,000-acre urban wilderness trail system. It was great for mountain biking, but it lacked a direct commercial and pedestrian connection to the economic engine of the city, downtown, and the University of Tennessee campus. That is entirely changing now. Knoxville's Community Development Corporation, KCDC, officially launched a massive nationwide request for qualification process to select a master developer to completely transform 15 prime acres right along the South Knoxville waterfront. And this is super exciting because we're talking about a massive multi phase public private partnership valued at over $200 million. dollars. This site encompasses six contiguous parcels stretching along 1,400 linear feet of direct river frontage, specifically centered around West Blount Avenue and Scottish Pike. This used to be old, light industrial manufacturing land, home to things like the historic Jefferson Woolen Mills dating back to the early 1900s. So KCDC's approved master plan isn't just dropping cookie cutter apartment complexes here. They are preserving historical architectural assets like the 1948 Jefferson Mills building and weaving them into a highly walkable, mixed use waterfront development district. We're talking multi story residential housing, ground floor retail activation, public river walk greenways, and direct public river access docks. But here's the absolute linchpin of this entire discussion. This 15-acre development site sits directly along the southern landing point for the highly anticipated $60 million South Knoxville pedestrian and bicycle bridge. Let's talk scale and logistics here because this is an incredible engineering project, the bridge is. This isn't a small footbridge. It features a massive 710-foot long steel arch that will span entirely across the Tennessee River with zero piers sitting in the water to protect the navigational channel. On the north bank, the bridge will soar over Nayland Drive and the Gulf and Ohio Railroad trails, dropping pedestrians directly onto the main concourse of the UT campus right below Thompson Bowling Arena and the Pratt Pavilion. Think about the sheer geography of that for a second. Right now, if you live in South Knoxville, want to get to campus with a massive UT Medical Center hospital system, you have to get in a car, navigate busy, unprotected highway corridors, Chapman Highway, cross a congested vehicle bridge, and fight for parking. Once this bridge is completed, someone living on the South Waterfront could walk, bike, or e-scooter directly from their front door, cross a beautifully protected, dedicated pedestrian archway, and be standing on the University of Tennessee campus or a major medical employment hub in a matter of minutes. This changes zip code 37920 from a detached suburban pocket into a direct physical extension of the urban core, the university, and the hospital networks. The student housing demand, the medical professional tenant pool, and the young professional buyer demographic are all going to converge on this specific corridor simultaneously. If you look at property values along Scottish Pike, West Blount Avenue, or the small tucked away residential streets sitting immediately behind the riverfront park infrastructure, you can see the pressure building. Homes in those pockets that were bought 5 or 6 years ago have already seen incredible equity growth purely based on the Riverwalk expansion. But once this master developer breaks ground on the 15-acre commercial district and the pedestrian bridge connects to the North Bank, those neighborhoods are going to experience a secondary massive surge in demand. If you're a buyer looking for a long term play, look for single family homes or older transition properties in 37920 that sit within a half-mile radius of that South Bridge landing. You're buying into a location that is about to become one of the most accessible, walkable, and unique urban suburban fusion neighborhoods in the entire state of Tennessee. Now, if your goal is pure urban appreciation and you want to be close to the action, nightlife, and a booming entertainment center, let's target 37915. When you're looking at properties here, your focus needs to be on proximity to the streetscape environments and improvements. Look closely at the parcels running along East Jackson Avenue, Willow Avenue, and the streets connecting directly back to Central. Make sure you're working with a broker who understands the local historic overlays and urban zoning codes because things are changing fast, and you want to ensure your intended use matches the city long-term master plan. On the other hand, if you want a blend of lifestyle equity where you can kayak or paddleboard in the morning, bike across the bridge to a UT football game in the afternoon, and still have a private backyard, your target is going to be 37920. When shopping the South Waterfront corridor, there is one major local quirk you need to watch out for: topography. East Tennessee is famous for its rolling ridges and beautiful terrain, but a lot of the residential pockets tucked behind the South Waterfront feature incredibly steep sloping lots or sit near historic terrain and sinkhole risks. A property might look like it's only a block away from the upcoming pedestrian bridge on a map, but if it has a radically steep, unusable backyard or sloping driveway that turns into a sheet of ice in the winter, you're eliminating a massive percent of your future resale buyer pool. Always look for lots that offer usable, flatter outdoor spaces or property where the foundation has been thoroughly vetted by structural engineer. The bottom line is this: Knoxville is growing at an incredible pace, but the capital isn't distributing evenly across the city. The real estate market is reacting exactly to where the public infrastructure dollars are hitting the ground. If you try to navigate this market using generic national headlines, you're going to miss the micro pockets where the real equity and money is being built right now. If you want a direct street level map of these high growth zones, or if you're planning to move to Knoxville, Sevierville, or wider East Tennessee area, and you want to make sure your next purchase positions you perfectly in the path of progress, let's talk. Drop a comment below with which project you think will have the bigger impact on the local economy, or reach out to me directly at Keyo Homes. Let's look at the actual data, figure out your goals, and make sure your next real estate move is a smart one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming deep dives into local neighborhood pricing trends, and I'll see you in the next video.